Day Warriors. Today is Friday, Thursday. I'm jumping the gun. Am I looking forward to the weekend? Yes, I am, because it's Resurrection Sunday coming up, but it's Thursday, April the 14th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me for a live episode of Life with Sharon, Midday Motivation. And you are watching this show on the Full Life Communications Network on YouTube as well as Facebook. Please subscribe, click the notification bell, share the feed, put comments and questions in the feed so I can shout you out, read your question, and possibly answer your question, hopefully, and also to read your comments, because we're engaging on this show together to get from where we are in our present and to be the best we can be today and better tomorrow than today, moving forward toward our next, and gaining some resources and strategies and techniques to help us along the journey to get to where it is that we say we want to go. And that's what Life with Sharon Midday Motivation is about. Sometimes we talk about things that don't sound like they're motivating, but they are, because they're tips to handle and to maneuver through life's challenges. And so when we are more equipped to handle life, to maneuver through life's challenges, then that's motivating when we can see our success. Like, you know what? I handled that well. I was able to implement this and that went well. And that's motivating. So motivating isn't always you can do it. Yes, that's motivating and affirming, and we should do that. But it involves so much more than just affirming ourselves. It's actually putting actions behind our affirming words in order to achieve the goal. Because a goal, in intent and in our mind, is a dream until we put action behind it to make it become a reality. So that being said, this week, social media has been the topic. And forgive me, I meant to say this up front. Yesterday, I was under the weather, so I did not do the show yesterday. So anyone who was looking forward to the show, I apologize. But life happens, right? And this is a live show, so we got to go with the flow. But today, I am back feeling better. Thank you so much. And today, we're going to be talking about how to effectively take breaks from social media, and effectively being the operative word, because, we can say we're taking a break and put the phone down for a few minutes and pick it right back up. And we call that 2 minutes or that 5 minutes a break. I mean, technically speaking, it's a break, but we need much more of a break than that, because we spend so much time on social media. And, if you would like to do some sort of experiment, let's say research on yourself, just take a day, or even a week would be even better, and just gauge how often, every time you pick up that phone, just jot down or set something on your phone to say how often well, actually with at least I know with iPhones and iPads, it tells you how long your watch time, I think it's called, how long you've used your device. So when you look at that number, it's astounding. And it's like, whoa, all that time. And all that time, just say for those of us who use social media for business, all that time's not being spent just on business for many of us. So you want to look at that time and see how in the course of a week, in the course of a day, that much time is being used on social media, where I could be doing something more productive, especially if the social media time is not something concerning how you're building your business. It's just really I'm scrolling and watching videos, and that has its place, but not 7 hours a day. And when I say 7, you might gasp, but there's people who I've seen interviews with who are spending that amount of time on social media, and also missing work because of spending that much time on social media. I mean, it goes to extremes. So we all need to take a look at how much time we're actually spending on these devices and how much time we're spending on social media, when we could be engaging with our children, with our family, with our friends, doing projects, whatever those projects are, to help us be productive in business, productive in our family life, making repairs at home, whatever the case may be. There's plenty of stuff to do all the time. And so social media can be a big distraction for many of us. So we want to take a look at how can we effectively, put that device down, and then what parameters, because it really involves putting boundaries on ourselves, which we talked about a couple days ago. And so how we can actually do that effectively with social media. So how to effectively take breaks from social media. One of the things is you can just put a boundary on yourself. Easier said than done. I know. I try to do it all the time, and then I say slip up, and now I find myself, oh my gosh, I just wasted X amount of time, and I could have been doing X, Y, and Z. So, but again, that's intentional living, which is what we talk about on this platform all the time. Intentional living. So, be intentional about how much time you're spending on social media and monitoring it. Be intentional about monitoring it, and be intentional about setting boundaries on yourself. Old habits die hard. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's not an impossible thing to do. And if you want to get where it is you say you want to go, then we need to put these boundaries on ourselves. So monitor how much time you spend on social media, and then begin to put boundaries on yourself about how much time you're spending on social media. So set yourself some limits. So say in a day, and I'm just going to make this up, I'm only going to spend an hour on social media today because I got to work, I got to deal with family, I got to deal with this. So an hour is my downtime. Now I'm not talking about if you're doing business related stuff on social media. That's different. You have to figure that out. But this just downtime, wasteful time, set limits on it. An hour a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever might work for you based on your lifestyle. You know what will work for you. So put that boundary on yourself, a number of minutes that you allow yourself for social media. And so do some research on yourself. See how that works for a week by putting those boundaries on yourself, and see how you feel after a week, and how more productive you may have been after putting those limits on the amount of time you spend on social media. So also too, when you're with others, put the phone down. This is effective, being effective with how much time you taking a break from social media, and also too now spending that quality time with friends and family or whoever you're gathered with, because it could be an organization that you're involved in. Put the phone down. When you're out with others, put the phone down. When you're in the movie theater, put the phone down. When you're out at a restaurant eating and having fun with friends and family, put the phone down. Of course, we see people using their phones and on social media all the time out at gatherings with other people, but it defeats the purpose. I'm here to socialize with you, not you and your phone. Because if you're in your phone, you can't pay attention to me. And the same thing with me. I can't pay attention to you if I'm in my phone. And it's rude, to be honest. It's rude having your phone, glare in the movie theater when the movie theater is supposed to be a place where it's dim. And also, too, phones are pinging and going off when answering phones while you're in the theater. It's rude. So, one, be respectful when you're out with others, and put the phone down. Put it in your bag, put it on silent, so you're not hearing the notifications, and so you're so tempted to pick the phone up. Again, there's a psychology behind this social media, and these apps, and so having the notification bell automatically, makes you want to pick it up. It's like, oh wow, somebody's contacted me, or somebody's this, or somebody responded to a post. Is it really that important? Is it really that deep? No, but we want to see it. We've been trained. Social media has trained us. Again, this is the psychology behind it. It's like Pavlov's dog. You hear it, and now I'm going to respond to it because I'm used to it. And so that's what's going on. But when you know this, now you can take the control and say, you know what? I don't have to respond to that. I'll check it later after dinner, after gathering with my friends and family who I'm here to see. And I don't want to be rude. So that's another way. During work hours, put the phone down. Now you say, oh my gosh, 8 hours a day. How can I put the phone down? Well, what were you doing before phones were invented 8 hours a day at work? Now, of course, some of you who are younger, you don't know anything about life without a mobile device and life without social media, unfortunately. So, but it's the workplace. You're on somebody else's dime, somebody else's time. That's not the place to be on social media. When you have your lunch break, when you have your couple breaks throughout the day, when you have some downtime at work because it's built in downtime legitimately, then you can be on your phone, or before work or after work, and check your phone. And that doesn't mean you don't randomly just check your phone throughout the day. But many of us are on social media, scrolling, comment, all this for so many hours a day while we're at work working. We're doing both. We're multitasking. But the boss isn't pleased with that. If the boss knew that, the boss wouldn't be pleased with that. So put the phone down when you're at work, and pick it up during those times when you have legitimate breaks, and when you have to go to the bathroom, but don't now stay in the bathroom for long periods of time because you're scrolling on social media. Don't do that as well. And before I continue, those of you who are watching, thank you so much for watching. If you could just say hello and I can shout you out, because all I see is numbers. I can't see anyone who might be watching to say anything. I just know that you're watching. And thank you so much for watching live, and for those of you who watch the replay. So Other times, again, when you're out, when you're at church, when you're at dinner, when you're at restaurants, those types of things, put the phone down. Also, too, during those self-care times when you just have downtime just for you to relax and be quiet and chill and rejuvenate and reset, put the phone down because the phone is a distraction. Now, if you're using the phone because you're using an app on the device to maybe, help with calming down, or playing some music that you like, or some nature sounds, or you're using it as a part of your relaxation time, not as a distraction as far as social media, not that, then that's fine. But put it down, put the social media aspect of it down, and use it as a part of your self-care, relaxation, rejuvenation time. Other than that, put it away. And sometimes, it's hard, again, because we hear those notifications. Put it in another room, or actually turn it off. This way you won't hear anything to then be alerted to. You'll know it's there, but you won't, be as tempted because it's off. And now you're actually getting into what it is that you're supposed to be doing, focusing on caring for yourself, self-care. Hello, Fruitful You. Fruitful You says, hi, Sharon. Hi, Fruitful You. Hi, Sharon. This is really good. This is a really good segment. Love it. Thank you so much, Fruitful You. Miss you, Fruitful You. Love you too. All right. So, some other things. Actually, when we look at how much time these devices take up our life, it's really astounding. Look at your watch time on your phone. If you have an iDevice, I'm not sure if the Androids do that, but if not, do your own research. Calculate how many times today, calculate how many times after you watch this, calculate how much time you're spending on social media by the end of the day. And you probably will be surprised. I mean, you might not be surprised, but then you do it every day for a week. It's like, wow, I could be so much more productive. Walking down the street is another time. Put the phone away while you're walking down the street. You're so distracted. You could get hit by a car. Someone could be calling you for whatever reason. And a lot of times you might have the earbuds in and you're on your phone and you don't hear. What if something, some sort of violent act, God forbid, but we know what happens, is happening around you while you're walking down the street. You're not as alert to it because you got your hand, your face in your phone and your earbuds on. And so now it's like you get the second reaction rather than the first reaction because you see people say maybe running. Whereas though, okay, if I had my earbuds off and wasn't in my phone, I would have heard it from the beginning and maybe, out of harm's way. I mean, I know that's like, an extreme example, but again, that's the times we're living in. Let's be honest. So, but walking down the street, you're still distracted. Outside of those types of events, other things you're susceptible to when you walk down the street and you're in your phone. You could trip and fall because you're not as cognizant of what's going on around you. You want to be aware of your surroundings when you're walking down the street because of the society that we live in today. We live in a dangerous world. So having your face in your phone and then having your earbuds on at the same time, it's not a good thing, just to be honest, in my opinion, because it delays our reaction time to something that could be happening that you need to be aware of immediately. So walking down the street without your face in your phone and your earbuds on is another way to effectively deal with social media, to take breaks on social media. We see it all the time, and I wonder like what people are thinking when they're doing that, and how many trip and falls, how many accidents have happened because people have their face in their phone while they're walking down the street. And so now let's move to the car. Driving, social media, texting. The two do not go together. How many accidents have we seen where people have then died because someone has been in their phone, on their phone while driving? Put the phone down while driving. That is mandatory, and it's against the law to text and drive. There's a reason for that. It is dangerous. So those are more than several, many ways that I've mentioned that we can take effective breaks from social media. Bedtime is another. Bedtime. They say you should put the phone down at least an hour before you go to bed, or anything with that blue light, attached to it. The laptop, the phone, the iPad, or the tablet. Put it down a minimum of an hour before you go to bed, so your eyes can have time to adjust to sleep, because it does something. I can't spout out to you all the intricacies that it does in the brain with the eyes or whatever, but you need time for it to adjust and to get yourself prepared internally with what the blue light is doing, in order for you to be conducive for sleep when it's time for you to go to sleep. And people find themselves being up, I can't sleep. And then also, too, being on the device is going to keep you up. Right? And now you're tired when you wake up. And now it's like, oh, I don't feel like getting up. Well, had you not been on the phone till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever early morning time it is, because it sucked you in yet again. I'm a culprit. I'm guilty, rather. You know what I mean? And so, but we have to live intentional. I don't want to be tired when I wake up. And really, what is it really doing for me? It's hindering our sleep, which helps us to which hinders our productivity the next day, and our effectiveness the next day, and the quality of our sleep. And what is it providing for us in the positive? Okay, so we can say, oh, well, I was watching funny videos, it's making me laugh. And laughter is good for us. It's medicine for the soul. We should laugh, but not when it's time to go to bed. Not when it's time to go to bed. There's a time and a place for everything. Put the phone down so you can get quality sleep, so it's not affecting your day, because it is if you're not doing it. So those are some things that, and there's more, but again, this show is only supposed to be 15, 20 minutes long. So those are some things that I thought were necessary to talk about, how to take effective breaks from social media, and when to do it, and putting those boundaries and parameters on yourself. Even though it's challenging, it's not impossible. We just have to have some. And here's the bad word: self-discipline. I said it. Self-discipline. Yes, self-discipline. If you want to accomplish those goals that you talk about, you have to discipline yourself in ways that are not productive. And being on social media all these hours a day is unproductive. You could be doing something more productive with that time. So that's the show for today. Thank you, Fruitful You, and others who are watching the show. I appreciate you joining me live, and I appreciate and love you guys who watch on the replay. This information is relevant whether it's live or on the replay. So do watch it, and watch it more than once, because sometimes you say, you know what, there was some information on that show, you just read the title, that could benefit me and my family and my friends. I'm going to watch that show again, and I'm going to share that information. And also to share the video. Share the video with friends and family. Again, this information is always relevant, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It doesn't change, because this is how we should be living. So these are strategies and tips and motivation for life. So tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how to navigate the negative effects of social media, how to navigate the negative effects of social media. So that's really important. So join me tomorrow on another live episode of Life with Sharon, Midday Motivation. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow is Friday. It's Good Friday, a couple days before Resurrection Sunday. And this is a great time of year for those of us who are believers. And we just love Jesus Christ. And this is our weekend to praise and worship and thanking God for who he is in our lives and what he did this weekend. So thank you all for watching. Love you. God bless you. Have a God day. Shalom.